Peace be unto you. Today video is very special. This is Ramadan, so I'm going to talk about fasting and the prayer. Okay, 2 in 1. But let me talk about the prayer. Okay. Do you know that the prayer, worship to God, was prescribed to whom? The word is prescribed because God actually demanded that you must pray to Him. Okay, this idea came about when I came across a posting by a Muslim. The Muslim stated that fasting without Salah or Salat is the Muslim prayer, the 5 times a day. He said, fasting without the Salah is worthless. You know, she said that because the moment she said that, I know this girl or whoever is maybe is the major sect of the Sunni are the Ahli Sunnah wal Jama'ah. You know, Ahli Sunnah wal Jama'ah put the Salah number 1 priority. You know, according to them, without Salah, all your other good deeds are worthless. This is Ahli Sunnah wal Jama'ah creed, their doctrine. You know, and their doctrine are based on the hadith. Okay, I don't want to blame the Ahli Sunnah wal Jama'ah because I am also the Ahli Sunnah wal Jama'ah based on my following the mainstream. Okay, but I dissociate myself from them. Even in the hadith, they ask which sect. He asked the Prophet, which sect will go to heaven out of the 73 sects, you know, of Islam, you know, Muslim. Then I heard the Prophet said, oh, it's the Ahli Sunnah wal Jama'ah will go in. Okay, but I will disprove to you. Okay, but I'm not trying to disprove the Prophet. He may be saying the truth, or the hadith was fabricated by some people of the book, the Muslim version, people of the book. Okay, you know, the Imam according to this, then they say it's Sahih. You know, Sahih means authentic. But I don't believe those bullshit. You know, if the people of the book of the Christian can manipulate corrupt the Bible, do you think Satan has no idea about how to corrupt the Quran using the hadith? Huh? So what did Allah say? Follow which is the book of guidance, the Quran or the hadith? Ahli Sunnah wal Jama'ah will say both. Oh, you must believe in Quran and hadith because the hadith contain the Sunnah. Of course, the hadith contain the Sunnah and the hadith also contain a lot of rubbish. You know, which the Christian love to quote all the rubbish hadith to verify their claim, you know. So, my standing, I make it very clear to you. I only strictly follow the Quran and the hadith which does not contradict the Quran. Do I have to repeat? I follow the Quran and the hadith that does not contradict the Quran. So if the Quran say that the Prophet is a noble person, then the hadith got a lot of stories. Oh, he raped kids, he drink camel urine, you know, all this bullshit, you know. All these are the people of the book, because in those times, even there were already apostates. No, the apostate could be the one who write all this rubbish and then claim it to be, oh, these are authentic, you know. So now Christian, now you know where you get your authentic Sahih hadith which contradict the Quran, you know. When the Quran say that the prophet, even though he was a sinner, but in what sense was he a sinner? You don't need to dig the hadith, you know. He's a noble man, the seal of the prophet, the beloved of the God, you know, the number one, numero uno, okay? So, back to the sola first. Let me tell you, the sola was prescribed to the Christians, the followers of Jesus Christ. So, if you claim you are the follower of Jesus Christ and yet you never sola, you know, Allahu Akbar, no, not Jesus who Akbar, no, Allah, God the Father, God the Father, the name is the God, in Arabic is Allah. Check out Amos 5:7, you know, the Lord whose name is Allah, the Lord whose name is the God is Allah, very clear. The Lord is Yahweh. Don't come and tell me, oh, the name of the God is Yahweh. Yahweh means the Lord, okay? Do you understand now? So, now, I tell you, why the prayer is prescribed to the followers of Jesus Christ. So, if you claim you are the follower of Jesus Christ, oh, I follow Jesus. Jesus is the way, Jesus is the life, Jesus is the truth. John 14 what? 14:16 or 14:6? You go and find out, okay? Now I want to show you John, the Johnny come lately, the uncorrupted verses. You know, the gospel there are corrupted verses and uncorrupted verses. This one is uncorrupted. In John 4:2-3. But the time has come, I mean the hour comes, and now is when the true worshippers. Who are the true worshippers? That means whoever follow Jesus Christ, who claim to follow Jesus Christ are the true worshippers, shall worship the Father. Did Jesus say, the true worshippers shall worship me? My name Jesus. You know, the God name is not Jesus. The God name is Allah. The Lord whose name is the God. Is Jesus the God? No, Jesus not the God. Okay. So the true worshippers, if you claim to follow Jesus Christ, you jolly well worship the Father. You know. In spirit, you must worship the Father in spirit and in truth. That means you must be sincere. For the Father demanded such to worship Him. I replace the word seekers. I seek money from you. That means I demand money from you. That means the Father demand worship, demand your salat. Only at Jesus' time, it was not commanded how many times you have to pray to God. It was only later to Muhammad that God called him up to receive. Actually 50, but 50 cannot. 50 also, even the housewife also cannot do 50 times a day. You know? But reduced to 5, but at every time of your worship, God will give you 10 points of grace. So 5 times prayer become 50 points. So God has paid you in that sense accordingly, okay? So the commandment of worship to Allah the God was through Jesus Christ. So if you claim I follow Jesus Christ died for me, you are useless person, okay? Jesus never died for you. Nobody died for you. You have to die for God, not God died for you. Can you imagine the king go to war for you? The king in the first front line? No. He will ask the soldier, hey, you move forward. Understand? You have to serve the king, not the king die for you, okay? So I have made it very clear. So to Muslim, please quote me the verse in the Quran that stated Salah is compulsory, Just use the nearest verse, okay? The nearest verse that you can find is be steadfast in prayer. Steadfast has a lot of meaning, Okay, so I have make it clear to you. But the challenge to Muslim, please quote me the verse in the Quran that Salah is compulsory as compared to the next thing that I want to talk is fasting, because someone posted that fasting without Salah is worthless. Can you imagine that? Between Salah and fasting is mentioned as prescribed in the Quran. That means it's compulsory in the Quran, but not Salah. Salah is not prescribed in the Quran. Salah was prescribed in the Gospel for the followers of Jesus, Okay, does that mean those who follow Muhammad, so Salah is not compulsory, is it? No, not really, because Muhammad followed the previous commandment, That's why Allah say must believe in the book. Allah simply mentioned the book. What are the revealed book? The revealed books are the Torah, the Gospel, the Psalms, and the Quran. This is generically called the book, So you must believe. So Salah is prescribed in the Gospel, okay, Muslim, take note. But fasting is prescribed in the Quran. So if you say Salah without fasting is worthless, you are damn worthless, Because I keep on rebutting that argument. People keep on quoting the hadith, Some even say, some even quoted that if you don't guard, he quoted from the hadith, the Asar prayer, Allah will delete your 40 days of your previous good deeds. Let me tell you, this verse this hadith contradicts the Quran, That's why I say, if you believe in something that contradicts the Quran, what does that make you? You want to believe the Quran that Allah revealed, or you want to believe the hadith that mankind revealed? The apostate could be writing the hadith, and then you believe that hadith that contradict the Quran. Do you want to believe in the hadith that contradict the Quran? You are worthless, You are worthless. Not that the fasting without Salah is worthless. Because Allah said, Allah will pay all good deeds. Never in the Quran that Allah say, I will delete all your past good deeds. That is not Allah's character. The good deeds will just pile up. But to delete good deeds, no. There's no mention in the Quran. You show me in the Quran that Allah will delete all your past good deeds if you don't perform Asar prayer. Show me in the Quran, okay? So if you believe the hadith, I'm sorry to say you are munafiq, Munafiq. You believe but you actually don't believe. Munafiq or mushrik, You know the terms, right? Very well. So you better believe in the Quran first and follow the hadith that does not contradict the Quran. Okay? Very simple, straightforward. So, and then according to the Ahli Sunnah wal Jama'ah, I want to quote this verse. Maybe the Ahli Sunnah wal Jama'ah mainstream say that Salah is primary number one, because I think only they quoted this verse from 585. 585 say, and for this their prayer had Allah rewarded them with gardens, with rivers flowing underneath their eternal home. Such is the recompense of those who do good. Most probably they quote this verse out of context, because this verse, if you check out the verse 582, it is referring to the Christians. The Christian, that the monotheist Christian, not the Trinity Christian. At that time, there are still, maybe already no more, but there are those who, there are still those monotheist Christian, you know. That's why if you check out the verse 582, it actually refers to the Christian. Because when the Christian heard the revelation by the messenger, their heart, I think, weep or what, I don't know, I never quote the verse. But check out 582 to 585. This whole context is referring to those who worship the God, referring to the Christians. That's why I think the Ahli Sunnah wal Jama'ah, the Ustad, the preacher quote this thing out of context. So sorry to you. And then they quote all the hadiths by their imams, narrated this, and they want to believe the hadith. Up to them, okay? After all, they earn money from preaching hadith, you know. They got nothing else to talk. If they preach the Quran alone, you know, it will be quite boring. They have to include hadith, you know, to make it more interesting, okay? Interesting, okay? So, have I settled the solar, okay? The solar is prescribed in the gospel, okay? But the fasting is prescribed in the Quran. So if you say that fasting without solar is worthless, you are damn worthless person, okay? Now I want to talk about what is righteousness, because a lot of posting by the unlearned parrots, you know who you are, the unlearned parrots. I want to talk about righteousness. So even, you see, even in the Quran, the fasting, if you cannot perform one day, you have to pay back on another day, you know, outside of Ramadan, later days, you know. But it is never, you can never find in the Quran, if you miss Asar, you have to pay back in Maghrib, you know. That means you have to make up your previous prayer that you lost. You show me, Muslim, the challenge is for you. Show me the verse that say, if you miss one prayer, you have to pay back another prayer. That suppose you miss Asar, you have to pay back the Asar in Maghrib. Show me the verse. But in Quran, it is clearly shown, because fasting is for the God. The salah, your charity, and whatever other good deeds is for you, for your soul. But fasting is especially meant for Allah. That's why Allah will pay you according to how you really fast, your faithfulness, you know, your steadfastness, you know.